as usual, the way the news cycle goes, and it has been a heck of a news cycle over.
Mhm.
We are officially. It's been 7 days. Is today? Yeah,
Yesterday.
yeah.
Yesterday was last Wednesday.
So it has been a full week since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It's been a really intense and wild news cycle, and of course, we are going to touch a little bit today on the updates in regards to the charges that against Charlie's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson. And also, there's a lot of conversation about text exchanges that were released on the charging papers where people have some curiosities. I also have some curiosities about those text messages. But first, I want to go into the breaking news that happened last night as I was going to bed, because it never fails that as soon as I finish an outline, something happens.
Correct.
Like every stinking time.
Yep.
So, to rewind and give you guys the background, Disney, ABC/Disney, announced that they will be preempted, that that Jimmy Kimmel Live will be preempted indefinitely. That basically means for the time being, they're not going to be airing Jimmy Kimmel's show. Indefinitely gives the perception that it might be coming back.
It was already supposed to end in May of 2026 is what
Isn't
I
that
read.
Colbert?
No,
Stephen
Jimmy
Colbert?
Kimmel.
What do you mean, like the season or his show?
I believe the show or his contract was up in May of 2026.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen that. If his contract was up, that doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't going to be renewing it.
I will look it up right now. so
Yeah,
you
go
give
ahead and look
everybody
it
the
up while I
details.
give everybody the lowdown on what's happening. And so they have pulled Jimmy Kimmel's show indefinitely. They haven't really provided any kind of context about when it'll be coming back. And the reason this happened is because two media groups, which run probably together over 60 ABC affiliates combined, put out statements saying that they were going to be pulling Jimmy Kimmel Live because of some statements that he made on Monday in regards or in relation to Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Which were horrible.
And I have a clip so we can talk about it. But
I just wanted to tell everybody what they need to think.
well, your feelings
before-
were about it.
Yeah, right. And what their feelings should be as well.
Just so you guys know. That is the appropriate feelings for you to have, according to
Yes.
Rachel. Because remember, what was it that you said in the chat, in the Substack chat, that you are in your wannabe imperialist mind or something, like, because like
No,
you joke
I'm a
about
monarchist by nature.
Yeah, there it is.
If I were queen. I mean,
If
obviously.
I were queen, that's exactly it.
Okay, yes, Jimmy Kimmel's contract for Jimmy Kimmel Live was set to expire at the end of the 2025-2026 TV season in May, and he has publicly indicated multiple times that he does not plan to renew it, effectively meaning that the show was slated to end.
Oh, okay.
I guess in a 2024 interview, he said he thinks he'll retire after that season, noting that seems like enough. I agree, Jimmy.
Yeah,
It does.
well, we've all been thinking that. And apparently
so is the
have
viewership.
And so has Nexstar and Sinclair, which are the
Mhm.
two media groups who put out the statements that they were going to pull it. Now,
Yeah.
before I go into further of like the narrative of what everyone's debating, because I see two narratives building up, let me play for you the infamous clip that got Jimmy Kimmel in trouble.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder.
All right, so that's
Well,
the clip.
the second part that just got clipped was that he said this is not how an adult grieves a murder. This is how a 4-year-old grieves a goldfish dying.
Yes.
And I thought that was a lovely addition. Just real great. The cherry
Now,
on the top.
so that particular portion, because I saw that, like, how are you feeling? I'm doing fine. And then he starts talking about, the president starts talking about the construction of the ballroom. There were reports, supplemental reports from reporters within that press pool commenting and believing that the president didn't hear the entire context of the question.
Yeah, it
They
was
just
loud. There
basically,
was a whole bunch
yeah,
of stuff
because
going on in the
exactly. They were
background.
like, it's very loud. The engines were going. We don't think he heard the full question. They just heard, how are you doing? And he answered that question and talked about his big, beautiful ballroom that's coming up.
Yeah.
So that was the other conversation that was happening in regard to the second part of that clip. Now, the part that's gotten a lot of people upset is the first part where he says, let me see. Hold on. Okay, it says, we've hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang trying to characterize this kid who killed Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
So
Now,
gross.
how did you hear that? What is he saying there?
Well, he's saying that it's a conservative Republican that shot Charlie Kirk. That's all he's
Okay.
saying.
That's how
Well, that's exactly what he's saying. What
Okay,
else
I'm just
could it be?
calm.
I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at Jimmy. And all the people that are like, yeah, that's right, Jimmy. You got him. Like,
Well, okay, so I'm going to get a little ahead of myself, but that's what woke me up, like not woke me up, but when I woke up this morning, because I actually did a little bit of a ranty rant on my Instagram stories this morning.
I did. It was while you were doing your makeup, which
I was doing
literally
makeup,
you've
getting
never
ready.
done before. And I've never done before.
What do
And
you
I was
mean?
like, she must really have something to say if she's sitting there putting on her makeup and doing this. She has something to share.
I was like, this is my opportunity. Well, one of the things that I brought up in there is that as we've gone through this entire week, I've gotten really, really, like, at first I felt like I was just being driven nuts by the gaslighting that's coming out from, like, leftist pundits and creators and the media and everything, where they're like, well, we don't really know what it is.
right.
It could be this. I just really felt like I was going out of my mind. And then when I woke up this morning, that feeling just immediately turned to anger, because the debate now, or one of the portions of the debate, is that what Jimmy Kimmel was saying, that he was not suggesting that it was a Republican or someone MAGA that assassinated allegedly Kirk. That what he was saying is that MAGA was doing everything possible to make sure that nobody believed that MAGA assassinated Charlie Kirk.
But he said it's one of their own. Like, he said that they're trying to convince you that it's anything other than one of them. So that's implying that he
Yeah,
is a
but that's my
conservative.
point. It's like,
Yeah.
they're saying that, let me get the full quote here again. They're saying that the MAGA gang is trying to characterize this kid who killed Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. It's like they went out of their way to care. I'm not defending
know.
this. This is
Yeah.
the argument. They're going out of the way to say, he's just saying that MAGA was saying, it's not us. It's not us. As opposed to the way I heard it was that he was saying MAGA, that obviously it was a person that did it. Now, the reason, because there's a context to that, we had just gone through an entire weekend, if not more, of people speculating. I think it was like the day after, where they were speculating that this had to be someone ultra right wing,
Yeah.
or like a Groiber type that thought that Charlie Kirk wasn't right wing enough. And that was the narrative that was bubbling on the left over the weekend. So then he shows up on Monday and he makes the statement. So either he made a really poor statement, or he's saying that he thought that it was a MAGA person or a Republican or a conservative that assassinated Charlie Kirk.
I definitely will not be giving him the benefit of the doubt, because, I mean, he says really pointed, awful things all the time. Why would there be an exception this time? He makes his disdain for conservatives and the president very obvious. I mean, no, I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. Sorry. And honestly, if people have to sit around and run circles and jump through hoops and, like, parse out a sentence word by word to try and defend you, then you screwed up. And
well, okay,
you're not making it clear enough. No.
Exactly. And apparently you aren't the only one, because Nexstar and Sinclair put out a statement following this. Now, to give a little bit more context, before that statement was put out, FCC chairman, is it chairman or FCC commissioner? I think it's
Director, commissioner.
commissioner.
I
FCC
don't know.
commissioner Brendan Carr was on, what do you call that show? Benny Johnson.
Mhm.
After Jimmy Kimmel had made this statement. And I'm going to go ahead and play. This is a clipped clip for context so you guys can get an idea of what Carr was saying.
In some quarters, there's a very concerted effort to try to lie to the American people about the nature, as you indicate, of one of the most significant, newsworthy public interest acts that we've seen in a long time. And what appears to be an action by Jimmy Kimmel to play into that narrative that this was somehow a MAGA or Republican motivated person. If that's what happened here with his conduct, that is really, really sick. In some quarters, and is that the broadcasters, and you've gotten this right, are entirely different than people that use other forms of communication. They have a license granted by us at the FCC, and that comes with it an obligation to operate in the public interest. And we can get into some ways that we've been trying to reinvigorate the public interest and some changes that we've seen. But frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or, there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Okay. So Carr goes on Benny Johnson. I'm really
It's okay. It's okay.
to remember all these names because we all know that names are not my strong suit. Okay.
Yes, it's
So
true.
Carr goes on Benny Johnson. He makes this statement. Now, the media immediately are like, oh, he's threatening ABC, Jimmy Kimmel, yada, yada, yada. Now, most of the clips that I've seen when they're talking about Carr, they have the second portion, but they don't include the first portion. And the first portion being that when you are a network that is on public airways
Mhm.
that are regulated by the FCC,
Mhm.
you have to make sure that what you are airing out on those public airways are in the best, are in what is it?
The public's best interest.
The public's best interest, correct. That means you can't be putting out false information. And for example, when you're having a political campaign, let's say, that you have to give fair time to both parties, for example.
Yeah.
Now, this stuff has not been enforced in a long time. It especially wasn't enforced over Obama or Biden at
I think the
all.
only time that the FCC enforced anything under Biden was when they didn't give equal airtime to Kamala and Donald Trump on the
and that
late
was
night
this
show.
second election already during a time that you feel that the times and the waves are kind of turning, right?
Changing a little bit, yes.
Correct. So then Nexstar and Sinclair put out statements and they announced that they are pulling Jimmy Kimmel off of their affiliates. Nexstar, I think I have the statements here. I'm not going to read all of them, but just to give you an idea. So company statement from Nexstar says, Mr. Kimmel's comments about the death of Mr. Kirk are offensive and insensitive at a critical time in our national political discourse. Nexstar Broadcasting president says, continuing to give Mr. Kimmel's a broadcast platform in the communities we serve simply is not in the public's interest. Now, Sinclair also goes on, and their vice chairman says Mr. Kimmel's remarks were inappropriate and deeply insensitive at a critical moment of our country.
Mhm.
And Sinclair goes further and says that they're not going to lift that suspension until formal discussions are held with ABC regarding the network's commitment to professionalism and accountability. Then they also demanded that Kimmel apologize to Kirk's family, make a donation to Turning Point USA, and then announced on Friday they're going to be airing a Charlie Kirk special in Jimmy Kimmel's air slot, which I think is glorious, by the way.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
And